So hi everyone, welcome to Open Conversations. I'm Lauren and I'm from Singapore and I'm the Student Engagement Assistant at the International Center. And this is my team of executive members from different cultural societies. So do introduce yourselves. Shall we start with Mary?
My name is Mary. I am a fourth year chemical engineering student studying at Dal. I'm from the Philippines, and I'm the co-president of the Dalhousie Southeast Asian Nation Society, and I'm also the peer supporter at the International Center.
Hey. Fuki?
Hi, I'm Fuki. I'm from Japan. I'm president of Japanese Society. I'm still second year, so yeah. Hi.
Lukman?
Hi, everyone. My name is Luthman. I'm from Algeria. I'm co-president of the Dalhousie Arabic Society, and I just graduated with a degree in medical sciences.
Sarah? Tiffany?
Oh, okay. I'm Tiffany, and I am gonna be in my final year for my degree, which is sociology, and I am one of the executives at Taishan with Mary. Yeah,
Nice. Sarah?
and I grew up in Singapore too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm Sadra. I am Iranian. I am entering my fourth year of Bachelor's of Microbiology and Immunology, and I am the president of the Dalhousie Iranian Student Society.
Arish?
Hi everyone, so I'm in my third year of kinesiology and I'm from Pakistan, but I grew up in the United Arab Emirates. And I'm also the vice president of the Dalhousie Muslim Students Association.
Nice. And lastly, Stephanie?
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm from Lebanon, and I am co-president of the Dalhousie Arabic Society.
So that's the team. And okay, let's begin. So open conversations is about having an open conversation. As international students ourselves, we'll be sharing our experiences and tips and tricks you should know to make the most out of your time at Dal, Halifax, and being away from home. So this is a webinar series where we'll touch on food, especially today. We've talked about language barriers and cultural differences. And if you do have any questions throughout the session, do type them in the chat box and we'll answer them at the end of the sharing. Do remember that this is an informal session and we're not equipped to answer immigration or academic questions, and we'll simply be sharing from our personal experiences. So let's begin this session about food. So one of the biggest transitions to Halifax is probably the food. So do you remember your first Canadian meal or eating something that wasn't commonly found at home? For me, I think it was poutine. I know people will say like you should come here and have poutine, and I was like, what's poutine? Like never heard of it, but yeah, it's good. What do you guys think?
I would say Tim Hortons. There's a lot of it here.
Yeah, that's true. Lukman?
I was going to say, yeah, also poutine. When I first arrived, I had no idea what that was. It sounds French. I was like, okay, that's good. And I tried it. It's amazing. So for those of you who don't know, it's basically just fries with gravy and like balls of cheese. Yeah, I don't recommend eating lots of it because it's very salty, but super tasty.
Nice. Has anyone had beaver tails?
Yes, it's very sweet though.
Do you want to describe what a beaver tail is?
Basically it's a lot of sugar, but it's just if I remember correctly, the first time I ate it, there was there's like different kinds though. Like you could get it by the waterfront if I'm not wrong, and then you could have like your own selection. Like you could have like chocolate with banana, chocolate syrup and banana. That's what people order, or you could have like your own combination, and they use cinnamon sugar if I'm not wrong, too. Yeah, it's just really sweet.
Mary?
So when I first came to Canada, I thought beaver tails was actually the real beaver tail, and then I realized that it's not, that it's actually pastry. So yeah, just to let that out for those who don't know.
Nice. What are the what else? Do you have anything else to add? 'Cause I can't think of any other moment.
There's just
So,
mainly poutine and lobster poutine for me.
nice.
Oh, and donair.
Yeah.
Oh,
donair.
Oh
donair.
yes.
Have you guys had donair poutine?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's
Just
kind of just like the ingredients on like a poutine, you know? Yeah.
I
There's
thought donair was
some-
Lebanese, but
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I know. It's like, it's like this. I thought it was like the Middle Eastern because we call it donar, and it's basically like, the shawarma that we have it. Like, we call it donar back there. And I thought it was like, pretty much the same, but, I'm not really sure how it's like really prepared as opposed to like, the Middle Eastern donar or like shawarma basically, but it is like, strands of meat, which I think like, was like prepared pretty much the same way, but I don't know. They have like, a little bit of their own Canadian touch to it, and the donair sauce
sugar.
that they have it with, yeah, it's really like, yeah, it's very sweet. Like, I don't really normally use donair sauce. Like when I'm eating donair, I just, put some, sriracha or hot sauce or something on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you're like, into like, having a sweet sauce on meat, donair is your thing.
And for those of you who don't know what a donair is, the viewers, it's basically just like meat in like a pita and some spices. There may be other things though.
Nice. So move on to the second question. What was the biggest cultural shock for you in terms of diet or eating in Canada?
Not enough rice.
Yeah, same.
Mm,
it was the spiciness for me.
like not
Lack
enough
of?
or too
Oh
much?
yeah, it's never enough. I can like confidently say that it's never enough. Like the aversion of like mild to like spicy is different from what I eat back in Singapore. Yeah.
True.
For me, it would have to be like fruits and vegetables. A lot of them aren't fresh here. And I think one of the biggest shocks for me was that you can buy fruit in a can. Like you can buy pears in a can. I was like, that's interesting. But yeah, where I come from, like fresh fruit is really cheap. So when I came here, I was like, okay, like apples for $5, like sure.
And just to touch on the spiciness too, like this also touching on like the prices of the vegetables, but like chili peppers are so expensive, okay? Like yeah, I was talking about this with my friend the other day, and it was just like, yeah, if you want chili peppers in your food, it's expensive.
Mhm. I think the main carbohydrate here is like bread, or it's
Yeah, bread.
Yeah,
I think, yeah. So it's
Or like-
really different.
or
There's
pasta.
so many kinds of.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, there's so many kinds of bread. I noticed, like compared to my country, there's a lot. Like brown, white, and like there's more. So like, okay, what is it?
That's true.
Yeah.
Because back home for me, we just mostly eat pita bread, or we make we actually like make dough and then put it on like it's called a sage, where it's like this round dome where you just put dough on it. It's kind of like a pancake, and then you make like a crepe like bread, and it's really really good. But here I found, yeah, there's a lot of different types of bread, like really really fluffy bread and white bread, whole wheat, definitely.
Mhm.
What about you, Sadra? What's the main carbohydrate?
Well, back in Iran, we have like, many like different types of bread. I mean, they're usually like, the base of them are the same. It's just like the way they're prepared are very different. Like, if you want like, sort of like a thin crust, or like, you want it more fluffy, it's just, basically comes to that kind of difference. But yeah, here in Halifax, I'm not really sure. I mean, there's not that many Iranians here, so I don't think you could get like, that type of bread. But the bread here is it's good. Yeah, you pretty much have like, all types of bread from all around the world. You have like, the French types and all the, other like, pretty much all the like, everyday housekeeping stereotypical bread that you want to find here, you can find it. And a culture shock for me, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't not really like, that really like, selective with food. And, it's like, oh my God, I gotta have this or I'm not gonna like, be able to, think straight or like, not really that type. But yeah, it was just like, very different. Like, they normally like, it's like they don't really, the flavorfulness is a little bit like, like, from the spicy range and flavorfulness, it's like a little bit less here and more towards the sweet part, mainly I've noticed. But yeah, pretty much that's like, I think the main difference I noticed.
And if you're moving into residence, you don't have to really be afraid of the variety of food. So residence kind of has like different sections. There's like pizza. They do cook rice occasionally, and there's a grill for like chicken and beef patties and stuff like that. And you can have eggs done different ways. And yeah, you can leave comments for the residents, like the dining hall staff, to be like, hey, you should cook more like Oriental food or like spicy food, and I think they'll take that into consideration. So yeah.
And they also cater, if I remember correctly, they also cater to specific like dietary needs. So if you eat like halal food or kosher food, things like that.
Yeah. So I guess most of us are living off res now, like off campus, I mean. What are some steps you took to finally cook home cooked food? Like, where do you get your ingredients from? Are there any other like machines? I mean, like rice cookers, that you have to like invest in and stuff like that. So
Superstore on Tuesdays.
Yeah,
yes,
true.
10% discount.
10%, yeah, pretty much, yeah. It's like, you get on Tuesdays, the students like, are exempt from tax at Superstore. So yeah, that's a good investment if you want to get your groceries,
True.
Somewhat, yeah. Also, Sobeys. I believe Sobeys has that 10% discount as well.
I think it's on Wednesday.
On Wednesday?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's on a different day, but I think it's Wednesday. Yeah, you gotta check. Yeah.
But at least they gave 10% discount.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Depends
go
on what
up,
points you're collecting too. Like Sobeys for air miles, and then Superstores like for optimum points.
Yeah.
So what was it like cooking when you live off res? I think for me, because I think just the whole process of going to the grocery store and then like coming back and cooking it and like unpacking my groceries and then cleaning up, like I took it for granted living with my parents. Like obviously they would do the grocery shopping while I was at school and stuff like that. To run through the whole process on my own and like living off res and kind of just like being an adult for the first time was a bit overwhelming, and just seeing how much like you actually have to buy to eat and to prep. So I think that was a new experience.
Definitely. I found that, finding the balance between eating right and doing your schoolwork and everything else was really hard, especially at first. What I started doing is I would cook like one day a week and then just like put everything in the freezer and then take it out as needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, food prepping is definitely helpful, especially if you're really busy. Like for me, I take 6 courses as an engineering student, and I have courses from like 8 morning until like maybe 6 p.m. and I don't really have time to do groceries, but I put time for that 1 hour in the day on that specific Tuesday, and if not, like sometime in the week. And then in the weekends, I'd usually food prep and then cook and then put it in the freezer, then just take it out for the week for my lunch and dinner. Yeah.
And I think one important like thing is to bear in mind that try not to eat out of like box food like too often and like have that as like a regular thing, because you're studying and you do require a lot of energy, and relying on I guess junk food or takeout isn't the healthiest lifestyle. Yeah, so I think the best would be to meal prep. Yeah. Stephanie, do you have anything to add?
Oh, you can start. I just
Oh, Stephanie or Tiffany?
Either.
No,
I said
you can
Stephanie.
go you can go Stephanie.
Um, so, well, I find that the international section in some stores is pretty good for, personally, just for Arab food. Sometimes they have like tahini to like make hummus from, and other times they have like the eggplant dip, and they have like a bunch of different types of like chickpeas and like beans too. And I found it's pretty good. And also, there's also a lot of stores, surprisingly, in Halifax where it's just like culturally based. I know there are a few like specific like Asian supermarkets downtown, and there's also a Arabic, specifically Lebanese supermarket too, which is near Joseph Howe and like the superstore over there. And I found it really good because they sell all the ingredients that I don't like usually find in the supermarket, like Superstore or Sobeys, for example. And yeah.
Tiffany, do you have anything to add?
Oh, I wanted to talk about cutting onions for the first time, but it's like everyone knows the pain of doing that for the first time. Like cry a lot. I did. I had to YouTube about it. But to add on to what Stephanie was saying, because I really like I really like the Korean cuisine a lot, so I would just go to the Korean grocery store, like Mart on Quinpool Road. They're owned by like a Korean family, so you can trust on that. And yeah, definitely the Asian store too. Like there's some on Quinpool, there's some like along Queens Road, I think, if I'm not wrong, that you can get like some food from, like Taishan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
to cook like food like from Singapore, like I have to rely on constant supply from my dad who sent it to me. Like for like the Singapore like, Hainanese chicken rice. Yeah, we have there's a special paste for the rice itself, and then he also gives me like rendang beef paste too, so I can make it on my
You're
own.
making me hungry.
Yeah.
I miss everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's some stuff too. Yeah.
I think one tip for Arish, do you have something to say?
Oh, I wanted to say definitely a big thing was during our midterm break. So a lot of us students from India and Pakistan, where I'm from, we got together and started to cook together. I felt like that was
Nice.
easier rather than learning alone.
That sounds great. Yeah.
That's
I
a
think
great idea. Yeah.
yeah, finding people from back home and you can like share recipes and like try and fail
Hmm.
together and yeah.
Pretty much a cooking workshop. That's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should
Stay
patent
tuned.
that.
No.
Yeah, to add information about Asian groceries. There's a lot, but like some of them are expensive than others. So like if you really want to save your money, you should like check around. Like there's some like you should check some like superstores and those things as well because they sometimes have Asian seasonings and like so I found like the one in Quimple they don't have specific seasoning. I forgot, but like in other superstore they had. So like maybe you can try that as well.
Yeah, and I realized the Barrington, I think it's on Barrington, the superstore there
Yeah.
is so much bigger, like the international aisle is like an aisle itself.
Mm.
So that's something to check out.
One
And
thing I wanted to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
oh, go no, go ahead.
Okay, one thing I wanted to add is for groceries, like don't be afraid to check those flyers. I'm sure you'll get them if you live in, I don't know, maybe you don't get them at residence, I'm not sure. But yeah, flyers have good deals. I know not everyone has time to look at them, but when you do, have a look. The other thing is about, like junk food, like chips and popcorn. Just get them at the dollar store, much cheaper. So yeah, save some bucks. You'll need them.
And also, like, I just wanted to add, Mary just like, mentioned that, a lot of the students, especially like engineering students, like, are really like busy, like, during the course of the semester and won't really get time to do grocery shopping. There is this app called Instacart. And like, when I was working security at the superstores, I've seen people like, use it and, you basically can order your groceries online. And I checked, apparently they have like, delivery now. Because back then, at first, it was just like, you order your groceries, like the workers at the superstore would like, or like, any other place that they offer would just, bag that for you and you just, show up and like, basically it's like a takeaway thing. Like, you just, pick it up and go. But I'm not sure if they're like, doing delivery right now here in Halifax, but they for
I
sure.
think they are. My neighbors do use them right now.
Yeah, it's like really good. Like if you don't have time to, go all through the hassle, like, grocery shopping while you have like, 2 midterms and an essay to write, it would be good to, get it delivered to you.
And I think one good point I realized is that we're talking about like the spiciness level and like, spices from back home and flavorings. If you do have like a particular taste, do bring that like bottle of spice or like paste that you miss, because you can add it to food. You can add it to like rice here, or when you do buy like a rice cooker and stuff like that. So I think that's a good tip. If you miss like certain sweets from back home or crackers, you pack a bit to like get you acclimatized to like the diet here. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely bring some snacks, like your favorite snacks that probably won't be found here. I know sometimes when I go to the Lebanese market that I was talking about, I sometimes find snacks that I wish that they would sell in regular stores here, like cookies and different pastries like that, and I like get so excited. But definitely, I know when like I travel back home, I just everything I bring back is just snacks.
It's like immigration, like declaring it's like, it's just food.
It's literally just all. It's really just all like snacks and junk food.
Yeah. Get a
Nice.
taste of home as a souvenir, basically.
And they're gone in like a week.
Of course.
Okay, we'll jump into we've talked about like cooking our own food. Did anyone else have like a slight culture shock with dining in Canada, like dining out, like in a restaurant or takeaway, ordering food in? Does anyone have anything to add? For me, I didn't know you couldn't raise your hand, because back home we kind of like, if we need a server, we just like leave our hand up till they come. But over here, that's kind of like rude. So you have to like kind of make eye contact. I think that's something I learned. Yeah.
Is it? Really?
Yeah.
But I'm
I actually didn't know that
eye
either.
contact. It would take a long time. It's like,
Yeah,
like you can't really, like, I don't know. It was like considered rude, really. Like, just, not like, really politely. It's like, hey.
I think it's like the slight, like, like,
It's
hey,
like,
yeah. I do like
but
the slight like.
yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah, that
wave.
should be a fine. Yeah, I mean, not like, just, waving your hand. Yo, come on here. It's like, I don't really like that. But yeah, I think it's slight nod. Yeah.
yeah, back home we just leave our hand up so until they come. Yeah. But over here they kind of just have like a routine of going from table to table. You kind of just be like, hey, yeah.
Yeah, just you fight for their attention, basically.
And then there are those who give you too much attention.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Okay, wait. Lumen?
Yeah, I did.
Stephanie, go ahead.
Oh no, sorry.
Okay, I was just gonna say there are some waiters who give you like excess attention and like just keep like circling your table. It's really uncomfortable. So yeah.
The exact opposite situation, eh?
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I like that idea of just keeping your hand up. I really like that because like the servers will know like and keep track of who they served and who they need to serve next.
Mhm. And I think it's just Singapore or maybe there are other countries, but tipping, we don't usually tip back home.
Yeah,
So what about you guys?
We don't.
no, that's
We
true.
don't either, no.
No, we don't.
Yeah,
So
like
does anyone want to talk about tipping here?
like in Singapore, like we in restaurants, it's the 10% service charge every time you go to a restaurant. I don't know how is it like for other countries, but that's like paying like for the server like for the night, like kind of ish, but you're paying a restaurant when you like done with the bill itself. Coming here, I didn't know like how much tips like I should be giving. Um, I went with like 15 to 20% at first, but I felt that as a student, it really hurts my pockets a lot when I do that much. So I try my best to like give 10% off at best. Um, it's actually all right if you don't tip, but you will feel really bad afterwards because yeah, it's all right not to tip if they don't serve you well. Yeah, you have to tip for the service. That's what I'm saying.
Go ahead, Fuki. Do you want to talk or can I
No,
talk?
no, no.
Oh, okay. I just had a question because, like, in addition to tipping, like, do you tip when you're taking out
No.
instead of dining? Oh no. Okay.
No.
Okay. Because I did that, so no, I won't.
You can though. If it's like somebody delivering something to you, is it?
Mm.
I thought it was
Yeah,
automatic.
you can.
Yeah, for
I know
delivery,
they
yeah.
they
Yeah.
really appreciate when you do that because like sometimes when you tip at a restaurant, the actual owner takes it and not the actual person, but like when you tip a delivery driver, that goes in their pocket and that's like a nice thing for them because like and
Yeah.
also I know if you're like in a sit-in restaurant and you're tipping, I know I've been told that the best percentage to tip is the same as the tax for your province. So, for example, I know out west, sometimes 8%, 6%. Here, it would be 15%.
Yeah. But I think there are more options now. Like, so if you have delivery, they'll ask you like it's like $2, $3, $4 for the driver,
Mhm.
and then
15% all the way up to like 35% or something.
yeah, at like restaurants, they when you pay it's now like so high tech with a screen and like touchpad thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, just want to add on that servers like they don't get to keep all the tips here. They have to tip the kitchen too. I have a friend who works at a bar. She has to give the kitchen 4%. So if you give her 10%, she gets to keep 6% only. So like when you tip servers, like just keep that in mind because like they have to give part of their tips for the kitchen too.
Yeah, that's interesting. What else? Do bear in mind that delivery is very, very expensive here. You pay for your food and then for delivery charge, the like delivery percentage, and then you pay for like the normal like tax charge, and then you have to pay the courier who's bringing the food to you. So it might end up like double the amount of just getting like McNuggets from Max, you know. So everything's walkable distance. You could walk to Spring Garden, get your
Yeah.
max and cardio done, and then head on home.
Work off those calories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how it works with like Uber. Like, I order like a dish for like $12 and then like, check everything on. And then at the end, the receipt shows like, yeah, you have to pay $36 for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, okay, how did you add that up? Like, it's just like, it just times everything, I guess.
Mhm.
I think they charge you for both the food and as if you took an Uber yourself.
Oh God.
I think so.
Yeah, pretty
I'm
much.
not sure,
That
but
makes
it's
sense. Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know they've skipped the dishes too now here, but isn't it like the same as Uber Eats?
Yeah, they offer the same service. Yeah. But I mean,
There's a really good app. It's called Food Highway. They usually have like obscure restaurants that are less known, and they have good deals. So check it out.
For any Asians out there, you can get bubble tea delivered as well. I think that is very interesting. Yeah. And like desserts, I found on Food Highway, you can get desserts delivered. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Get cheesecake too. Not a food highway, but I use Uber Eats, so like I could get cheesecake, and it's better to order in groups. Like when you're with your friends, you can split it, and then you can order more food at once too. So it's better to split the cost. Yes.
sometimes it's really not worth it to just, order just for yourself. Yeah.
You'll be like, do you want something? Not because like you care about them, but like because you want to split the cost. Just kidding.
I think if you live in res, I'm not so sure with the COVID situation, but
Mm-hmm.
if things lighten up, you can like get all your friends in one room and be like, hey, I'm ordering pizza and stuff like that. So that's good. Yeah. Oh, and also, Mary, do you want to talk about like the Dell card and where you can get the Dell food bucks around like Spring Garden and stuff?
So I will be sharing in the group chat or the chat room the off-campus and on-campus vendors. So usually when you have a meal plan, I know that for most meal plans, you get $100 every semester for your spending. So you can spend it on campus, at Tim Hortons, in the DSU, Meza, what others are there? Booster
AAA.
Juice, AAA. That AAA is actually like off campus. And off campus, I know they have. Well, you know what? I'll just put it in the
Subway.
chat room.
I think you can
Yeah.
also spend them on Sobeys, the one on
Yeah.
Queen Street.
Oh, okay.
I know that.
Or Superstore in Barrington, because I used that during my first year there.
Nice.
So, yeah.
And okay, let's lighten the mood. What are some fun like food things you can do here? I know there's wings night, and I never knew that that was a thing till I came here. So, anyone has any experience? I know there are places that. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I know there are places on like Wednesdays and some on Thursdays, so you can like check them out. There's like the Halifax Sports Bar. A few bars have them, wings nights, or you can. I know there's Burger Week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Burger Week's actually, yeah, I'd never seen it any other place. Like, it's just a whole week of just like restaurants having like, special recipe burgers, and you get like, you get to go like, try them. Like, it's like always the hot spot. It's like a different restaurant throughout the week. And like, it's like you have a brochure, then you have like, just check like, yeah, I tried this one. I tried this day's special one, special recipe burger, this one. I don't know if you like complete the checklist. Is there like a reward or something? I mean, the burger itself was enough reward as it is, but
Yeah.
I think there's a draw or something that, if you complete all the checklists, like, you enter a draw or something, if I'm not mistaken. Because it's been a long time ago. We didn't have a burger week this year because of this whole COVID situation, unfortunately, but yeah.
There's also donuts. Is there a donut week? Because I remember that one time. No, it wasn't. No, never mind. It was part of Burger Week. It was part of Burger Week. Sorry.
Mary, you could like go for that. Like we would support it. Like yeah, a donut week.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
I think there's Wings Week too, if I'm not wrong.
Is there?
I think I saw something. I'm not too sure, but Burger Week is definitely bigger. And yeah.
It's
I know,
normally in April, right? I don't know.
I'm not too sure.
I don't know.
What else? Okay. Stephanie?
Oh, sorry. I know some vendors, they also have like limited edition. Sometimes they come out with like limited edition foods. Like for example, have you guys heard of the Nutella Donair that came out last year?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, it was a limited edition donair. I don't remember who sold it, but one of the vendors on Quinpool, they were selling this Nutella donair. And there's also a poutine donair. Yeah, that was I
That
think
sounds
we
good.
talked about that too. Yeah, and like I know a lot of vendors they do that like random like limited edition foods like just to try things. And I know
Mhm.
it's like really really interesting.
There's also a lot of like festivals in general, like cultural festivals, like Lebanese festival, Greek festival, India fest. So like if you like food, go to those places.
Yeah.
Greek Fest is actually they're actually now I think because they had to cancel for COVID. Usually like around this time they have their Greek festival like end of July, but I think they're having like a drive-through event where you can just like go to the place where they usually have it, and then you just order food and then they give it to you in like a little plate and then you leave.
Oh,
kind of cool.
that's so much less fun, but I guess keeping the spirit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Greek Fest is just like a 3-day long festival with like music and food and like, meeting people. Yeah, it's like I was working security for the Greek Fest last year and it was like, yeah, from 9 in the morning until like, 8, 9 at night. So like, for 3 days straight, it was just like, the whole thing was going on like a carnival and it was like, really fun thing to be a part of. Hopefully next year is like, you get to experience the like a real thing.
I've heard Oyster Fest. Um, my friends volunteered there, and then you just work your job, like giving out flyers or telling people where to go. And then at the end of the day, I think you book a slot, like an hour slot, and you can just eat as much as you want. Yeah,
Oh,
so I
sounds
think,
good.
I just remember Taco Tuesday. So you can go to Antojo or like Maxis for cheap tacos if you really like tacos. It's really worth it. So yeah, just wanted to say that.
okay, quick fire round. What's everyone's favorite fruit?
Fruit?
Mangoes.
Mangoes?
Yes.
Everyone else?
Blueberries.
Cherries.
Blueberries.
Nice.
Cherry.
Cherry.
Yeah.
Oh, Arich?
Dragon fruit.
Oh, I love dragon fruit.
The purple or the
Although
white
I
one?
find they're different here. I used to eat the white ones, but sometimes here you can even get the pink ones.
Oh yeah, those are the nice ones.
Nice. Okay, we have some questions in the chat box. So, what about your favorite desserts? Do you have any favorite place to have it?
Well, I like eating chocolate, like, but like the chocolates in Canada are still sweet, even it's dark. So.
Mhm.
There's a great restaurant or like a cafe. It's called Chocolate Spoon or like Chocolate Cafe or something on Barrington, and they have really good desserts. It's a little pricey, but definitely worth it once in a while.
Nice. I know the pretty good like dessert places along Dresden Road. So it's like Spring Garden is kind of like a lot of like fast food and like restaurants, and then the Dresden Road is kind of like intersecting it near the Halifax Library. You can check that out.
I
Does
like to
anyone know that? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mary.
I like to get ice cream from Cal's, and then there's also that great spot in the waterfront called Cacao 70, if you know about that. So there's that. So go ahead, Liquin.
I was gonna say, does anyone know that like Asian like dessert place? It's like in the basement under like Shoppers Drug Mart on Spring Garden. I think it's called like Go to Eat or something.
I think I've heard of it. Yeah.
They have really good like green tea waffles and green tea everything. So it's amazing. Definitely try it.
Tiffany's face.
Yeah, no, I heard green tea and I was like, okay. Yeah.
I
Yep,
mean, they
I'll
gonna
visit
like
soon.
Japanese cafe gonna open soon. Like it's supposed to be open around April, but like because of virus, it's not opening yet. But hopefully soon.
Nice.
I want to say the Cheesecake Factory on Quinpool. Like, yeah, it's not like super cheap. It's like around $7 to $8 per slice. But if you like cheesecake, it's really the place to go to. They have sauce for you. You could choose like strawberry or blueberry for the plain cheesecake, and then they have different kinds too, like Oreo cheesecake. Yeah, and so on. Yeah.
Okay, well,
We have some questions in the chat
yeah.
box.
Someone asked, do you suggest any applications for discounts on groceries? I don't think it's an application, but for me, I use PC Optima. So it's kind of like a card, and when if you link it to the app, you can see what's on offer and what gets points. So like some weeks it'll be broccoli gets like, like 300 points, and some weeks it's chicken, and mostly it's always butter or sour cream. So you can get points, and then for every 10,000 points, you get $10, like I guess discount. So you can trade in your points for the $10 off your bill and stuff like that. So that's what I use.
There's one app that is called Flip with two P's at the end. And it's really good because it shows you all the flyers from like every single store in Halifax. And you can look at the deals right on your phone.
Nice. There's another question. Did you face electricity problems when you live in dorms?
So if you live in residence halls, usually you'll have like 5 minutes of power outage if it's during the winter, or like if there's problems with outages like in the Halifax HRM area, like downtown, South End, North End. But the residence hall have an emergency generator, so it's like a backup generator, so you'll get power back up in like 5 minutes. So it's fine if you live in res. Yeah.
There's a question. Oh, Tiffany.
Sorry. No,
Go
I
ahead.
just want to like build up on what Mary said. Um, not about it's not about electricity, but just beware that if you live in residence, you will probably have to get out of your residence in the middle of the night due to fire alarms that are not caused by you, and just they will tell you to just pick up any like just get out of the rest as soon as possible, but just bring a blanket along. I'm just saying. If it's in the middle of winter. Yeah.
Sure.
There's a question. Is there any Persian restaurants or grocery stores in Halifax?
Well, I could address that. Persian restaurants here, I mean, since there's like, not many Persians, like, population in Halifax as compared to like, places like Toronto or here, like, in Toronto, it's like, there's a place called Richmond Hill. It's like basically Tehran, like all the billboards are Farsi. You can find everything here. Yeah. Even some of the YouTube videos, like YouTube ads were Farsi here. I was like, bro, chill. But here in Halifax, it's like there's only like one Persian restaurant as of now. It's called the Shiraz restaurant, which just has like, your typical like, Persian stews like borma sabzi and qeime and like, and some of the kebabs and, all the like, the yogurt beverages or doop, like, you could find it there. And any grocery stores, there's not really a specific Persian grocery store here in Halifax, up to my knowledge, but any of the like the Middle Eastern, Mediterranean, like, grocery stores that that has been mentioned, like I think Al Arz or like, that would be your closest bet to like, the getting the closest ingredients to what you want to cook, like, like a Persian cuisine or whatever it is. Yeah. That would be your safest bet, like basically like, Mediterranean places. And there's also like, Mediterranean restaurants, like, if you're like, specifically looking for the kebab part, like, Persian kebab, like, It's basically like, you know, very close to all the other like Mediterranean kebabs, and there's a lot of places for that, like Turkish Delight, Mashawi, which is just like purely like your Middle Eastern. They're all on Spring Garden, right next to downtown on campus. And yep, that would be it, pretty much.
There's also one called Brenton Grill.
Brenton got closed.
Oh, it did? Oh my
Yeah.
God. Why? What happened? It was actually one of my favorites.
Yeah, it was, but I mean, I don't know. It's just like, you know, the revenue wasn't that much, wasn't enough, I guess. Yeah, I love Brenton. Actually, Brenton was my favorite Persian place, actually. But yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, they actually, like, they were supposed to, like, because they bought the building over there on South Park Street, and they said, like, we're going to relocate and, you know, go to another place, but they never really relocated. I mean, I'm going to check again. Maybe like, you know, fingers crossed they relocated like, you know, somewhere, but you know, it was like 2 years ago, like, which it was like, you know, we were waiting for them to relocate and announce the new location, but it just didn't happen.
I mean, that happens a lot in Halifax, I guess. That's like one of my favorite Japanese restaurant also said they're gonna relocate, but like they haven't. So I guess that's common there.
There's a question about residence. In residence, is the only carbohydrate that is provided is bread. Does anyone want to address that? I think Mary's tried. Mary's been trying to answer that, but
Yeah, so they say, I know they serve noodles and rice and potatoes, because they do usually have boiled potatoes or like seasoned potatoes. But they don't necessarily serve rice and noodles every day, because from what I know, they do it in cycles. So like this week you have this specific food, and they only repeat that specific food in the next cycle. So I'm not sure how long the cycle is, but it really depends on the residence hall that you're at. But I know in Sheriff Hall, they have a stir-fried station. I'm not sure if that's still there, but they have, like, they do stir-fry, and then there's rice with it too. So, yeah.
I don't think they have that now. I'm not
You
sure.
don't?
Yeah,
Oh.
I guess.
Yeah, somebody asked about the mealtime in residence. So it's basically there's breakfast from 7:30 to around like, you know, 9:30, 10. And then there's like basically brunch or lunch, which I think starts from like, you know, 11 or around 10:30ish or maybe 11 to
11.
up until 2.
Yeah, 11.
2, yeah, correct me. And then supper is from 4 to 6 in like a lot of the residences,
it's
but in
now 8.
Sheriff, it's
Yeah,
now
it's
all
8.
of them.
Yeah.
Only Sheriff was 8. Now all of them are 8.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, 4 to 8. Great. More time.
And if you can't make it to residence because you have classes like I did, during those meal times, you could always get a to-go box, or you could use your food bucks from your Dell card at on-campus vendors. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can like in residence, yeah, basically like, you know, I usually did it like, you know, for breakfast. Basically, I just told them like, you know, I want this, this, and that for breakfast to go, and they would just, you know, prepare it in a baggie, and then you just, you know, grab it and go on your way. It's really good.
Yeah, in residence, they do have like some like fun events. So I think like maybe once a month they try and have like either like carnival food day, or it's like just Asian cuisine, or at Christmas they do like the turkey, and even Thanksgiving. And just it's just like more festive, and they try to incorporate as many things as possible. So yeah.
We also had a Harry Potter themed dinner once when I lived there 2 years ago.
Oh, nice.
So those
What
team
did they
dinners.
serve?
Oh.
I don't remember honestly because it was so crowded.
Okay.
I mean, like I think they had like donut without anything, and like people were adding like whipped creams and like chocolate and those things. They sometimes have that. I forgot which event that was, but yeah.
Mary?
Yeah, so I was just gonna say because residence councils usually, for example, with sheriff, I know they're the ones who organize like the carnivals and then the Harry Potter team nights, and then they just ask the residents food dining hall staff to make those food for to match the
Yeah.
team nights. So yeah, if you want to be part of that planning, you could always join those residence councils. So yeah.
Nice. Someone asked, am I allowed to buy food from university, I guess it's dining hall, if I live off campus? So if I'm not wrong, you can get a meal plan. It's required for residences, like residents in res, but you can subscribe to like a meal plan if you live off campus, and if it's more convenient, if you just zip in to get food and you go to class because res is on campus anyway. Yeah.
And if
Yeah,
you
and
don't want to, like, oh, sorry.
I think you're gonna cover this point, so go ahead.
Oh
Cedric.
yeah, yeah. It's just like if you don't want to commit to a whole like meal plan and just want like every once in a while here and there you can just pay for one meal through your Dal card. Maybe it's like around what, $15 to 20, 15 to 20, right? Or less,
Yeah, more or less.
more or less, yeah. And you can just go in there for a meal, basically.
Depends on the meal too. I think breakfast is cheaper.
Yeah.
Like it gets more expensive throughout the day. So yeah.
And if you just want to try once, you can also ask your friend who's paying for meal plan because they usually have guest, what was it, ticket or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess
So
best.
yeah,
Oh, guest
I
pass,
guess
yeah.
pass, yeah.
And also, there's a place called the Loaded Ladle in the Student Union building, and they serve vegan food sometimes. And I think it's free no matter if you're
Yeah.
like off res or on res. And they just give you a whole plate of food for lunch, and it's great. But you
Mhm.
you have to get in line and wait in line because first come first serve.
Just going along with like DSU services and like food, they also have the DSU food bank where they give you like a little baggie of stuff. I don't know if it's like every month or every 2 weeks or something, but yeah, it's pretty good. Make use of it if you need it.
And there's
I
also
think
the
it's
DSU food market. I think on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm not too sure. It's been a while.
Tuesdays in the DSU sub building, and then Wednesdays in the Sexton campus, I believe.
Mhm. So they sell like fresh produce and like I think you can subscribe to like a box and then you just pick up that
Mhm.
box with like veggies and whatever they put in it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Fuki, are you gonna add something?
no, nothing. You covered it.
Yeah. So does anyone else have any advice for international students regarding food or just little innuendos that might differ from culture to culture? Hmm. I think things regarding like pickups and like picking up food might change. I know the DSU food bank, you can go there on like Mondays and Thursdays to pick up like a box of groceries, if you are a Dal student and stuff like that. So yeah, those are some services that are available to help students during COVID. And I think yeah, and even at the supermarkets, they're cleaning down all the trolleys and stuff like that. So it's a good, yeah, just to take precaution if you do arrive. Yeah. Does anyone else have anything to add about dining halls or eating out?
I would like to add like be open and try out different cultural foods. It also gives you a way to make like you get more recipes to make cheaper food as well, I guess.
Mhm. Yeah, thanks. Does anyone else have any questions in the chat box? we can move on to, we can talk about anything else. We do have the time. Yeah.
Oh, could I just say like seafood is cheaper here. Especially during the season, like because I have a friend, like yeah, he's in the lobster fishing. Uh, lobster is really cheap as of now because there's a lot of supply and it is the season right now. And apparently the East Coast, like where we are right now, is yeah, it's cheap for seafood. So like when you go to like Toronto, like Alberta, like seafood is way more expensive. So if you're planning to stay in Nova Scotia or like on the East Coast for a while, definitely try more seafood. If afterwards you're planning to move more inland, yeah.
But if you're trying seafood, just be wary because I know sometimes I know I had a friend when she came here new from Lebanon. She tried seafood and then she got an allergic reaction and then she realized she was allergic to like certain types of shellfish. So just be cautious of that, and because I know some places in the world seafood is not that common, especially like certain types of shellfish like it is here. So just be cautious because you may or may not be allergic. Like, just be careful about that.
Actually, never had lobster. Now that I think of it, should I go to Lunenburg or what?
Well, when
I don't
you
want to get
come
a.
back, you can go.
Bye.
I don't know.
The next time when you're back in Halifax, we'll get your lobster.
I'll be back on September 2nd. Yeah, I have to self-isolate for 14 days. And they said, yeah, we're gonna fine you from $1,000 to $10,000. Like from that, I can only assume they're gonna put an ankle bracelet on me or something. Like, just, whenever I go outside, they're just going to be like, 2 cop cars will show up and, with guns or something. I don't know. I
For
don't know how
groceries
that's going to work
when you're
out.
isolated.
Sorry?
What do you do for groceries when you're isolated?
Well, I
Get
mean,
them
I guess I
delivered,
would do
right?
the delivering or something, or maybe they will give us some updates. Maybe they'll provide some services. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it's just basically waiting to see what happens this whole fucking thing.
From what I know, they call you, they will ask you where you are, and then they will see if you're telling the truth.
Oh yeah.
They call you randomly, like yeah, they won't even like be like, oh, we'll call you at 8 or something like that. They'll just call you randomly throughout the day and be like, where are you right now? And then they will check if you're safe.
And your phone, they can tell it, like, if you're on the phone long enough, they can tell your location, right? Ooh,
That's how they
that's
get.
smart. Yeah, it's a lot better than an ankle bracelet. Yeah, you don't feel like a convict.
Yeah.